Welcome back to Her Perspective. This is your girl, Jay Free.
This is Marley.
And today we have a special guest.
Yay.
We got Mr. Shelton Johnson.
Hey, everybody.
Yay.
Welcome.
We all have opinions and different points of views. Perspective is a particular attitude towards something or a way of regarding something. Join us as we sip and say what's exactly on our minds in a conversation we call Her Perspective.
Introduce yourself to the world.
So my name is Shelton Johnson. I write books and I turn them into movies, and also write movies independently too. That's not related to books too. It's a whole nother thing. Anyway, but all my books and stuff, I go by Shelton R Johnson because I found out there's another Shelton Johnson, ironically, who writes books.
Wow.
So how rare is that, right?
Wow.
Never met another Shelton in my life, and met a Shelton Johnson who writes books.
As soon as you become
Yes.
famous,
Right.
meet other famous.
Right, I know. It's how it works. But yes, Shelton R Johnson is my name, and I'm the writer, director, and producer of Thankful for My Family, the film that I finished up at the end of 2019, premiered in Norfolk.
Awesome. Okay, where's home, and what do you credit for all of your success?
Well, first off, Jesus Christ is who I credit for all my success.
Amen.
I pray and read the Bible every morning. And that's something that, you know, I say, and a lot of people say, I don't like to brag about that, but it's something I do brag about. It's something that a lot of people don't, a lot of people like to skip over nowadays. Now, let me also caveat that and say later on in this interview, I might say some stuff that ain't Christian-like. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Right. Exactly. Right. But that's where I credit it. And then also I would say my father taught me a lot about, who just really showed me hard work and work ethic every day. Never had to tell me to work hard. I saw him work hard, and I knew that was something that a man's supposed to do and grow up when he grows up. And then my mother believing in me, and my wife as well. I can't forget my wife. As an adult, she's the one who is really believed in me, supported me, hands down. And then home for me is Norfolk, Virginia. I'm from Huntersville, Norfolk, Virginia.
Okay.
Like 20 minutes away from here. We're in Virginia Beach right now.
Hometown hero.
Yeah. But now I have my wife and family. We're up in Maryland. So been living in Maryland now for 10 years. But I still consider Norfolk to be hometown for sure.
Okay.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for coming. We appreciate you traveling down.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So the question I had for you is how or what catapulted you to chase your dream?
What catapulted me to chase my dream? It's a million different answers to that.
Okay.
I'm gonna kind of skim over the process of what happened. All right. So I've been an athlete really my whole life. I started playing football when I was 5. I got into boxing and all that stuff. I ended up going to college to play college football at JMU, whatever. Got hurt and really didn't make the NFL, to put it bluntly. Anyway, I thought that my future was always going to be in something sports related. So, ended up landing a job, like I said, up in Maryland, moved there, tried boxing, tried track and field, tried all these other sports, thinking that was my avenue to success or whatnot. And then what ended up happening was, everything seems to end up like falling through, you know? Until one day, my wife was getting on me because I had unfinished projects around the house.
Okay, wife. Wife.
Yes. And she said, Shelton, you gonna finish that book? And I was like, I had written like the first chapter of it. And I was like, yeah, fine, whatever. And so, decided to finish it and liked it so much, I just kept on doing it. Wow. And you know, it took my brother calling me, getting on my, about Shelton, man, you need to do this. Cause I was going to get into some other investments and all that. And, but it's like everything just kind of pointed back to the books and movies. Right. So I was like, okay, all right, I guess I need to give this thing a serious, legitimate shot. And when I did, I was not confident in it at all. So anybody out there chasing a dream, don't think that you just have this urge of confidence in what you're doing. That is not how it works, you know? Yeah. It took a couple people reading my books and saying, hey man, you funny as I don't know what. And the thing that really had me cracking up the most was that they always say, if you want to hide something from a black man, put it in a book. But black men are my biggest readers.
Wow. That's amazing.
Black men are my biggest readers. There's a group of black men up in Maryland where I live who are like, Shelton, man, you better hurry with this next book. We trying to get this next book. Right. Yeah. So yes. And that's another part of the story too. Me and my wife would like to read books together. So we went to Barnes and Noble and we trying to find a book, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to read that. She was picking out books. I don't want to read that, but I don't read that. No. And I didn't see any books that really appealed to me. And so that's what when you see my books, if y'all go on Amazon.com and put in Shelton R Johnson, you see my books. all of them appeal to African Americans, you know, and I wanted to make sure that as soon as you saw the cover, you knew this book was for you. You know,
is there a particular genre, like say for instance, comedy, self-help, like?
No, I don't do no self. I need self-help. So
we all do.
Right.
We all do.
There's the trilogy. There's the trilogy. Thankful for My Family, Married with My Family, and New One with My Family. Those are the comedy trilogies.
Okay.
But there's Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. Then there's a drama. Mr. Wilder. It's like I got to sprinkle a little bit of comedy and not much, but it's mostly a drama, and that's actually the next movie too.
Okay. Oh, awesome.
Yeah, this next movie.
When is that scheduled to air? Do you know?
Are
you expecting it to?
Can you say?
I can say. That's
on the spot.
Okay. No, that's fine. Because that's the big question. That's one of the big questions a lot of people have been asking me. So Mr. Wilder is a script I'm working on now. Okay. And that one I believe is going to be my trademark movie. You know, it's kind of like how, because it's my best novel, by the way. It's the best novel, hands down. But, you know, kind of like how Quentin Tarantino, everybody thinks of him and they think Pulp Fiction.
Right.
You know, and then, you know, I feel like Spike Lee, do the right thing. You know, so like, I feel like this is going to be my trademark movie, Mr. Wilder. So I'm really taking my time with it, making sure that I do it right with the script. One of my role models, Ice Cube, he says the script is like a basement to a house. You want to make sure that is tight and good, the foundation and good to go, because you can have the best of actors, the best of production crew, the whole nine, you know, but if you don't have that script right, it ain't worth it, you know? And so, that's what I've really been, honing in on. I plan on having the script done this year, and I want to get started with production probably fall of 2021.
Awesome. So I had a different kind of question, because we were going over questions together, and I got signed to my first publisher maybe the year before last. And about the third content editing review process in, I got not discouraged, but just turned off. Where it was a creative outlet was work. And so now I'm at the point where it's like, I can't even pick up the pen right now. I have not finished. And it's only a little bit left to do, but it's no longer my happy place. It's now conformed and confined and all of that. So how do you help young authors or young writers to get over that hump and just finish it? Like you say, don't worry if it's going to be the best, you know, if it's going to be on New York Times bestseller, don't worry about that. What would you speak to them and say? Well, you got to first manage your time properly. And you have to understand that what writing is rewriting. Okay. That's exactly what writing is. For Thankful for My Family, the movie that I said came out last year, that script, I wrote it originally, the copyright on it is 2016. I revised it 13 times. So like, I rewrote it 13 times. And if you don't know, if anybody who doesn't know anything about a script is formatted differently. There's a formatting to a movie script. However, for a feature length film, that typically entails 90 pages at least. The script for Thankful for My Family was 104 pages. The original script was 131 pages, and I revised it 13 times over the past 4 years. Yeah. So, and I write every night. It's like, with writing, you have to enjoy the process.
Right.
You know, I enjoy it. I enjoy it. The characters are like real people to me in my head. Like, I'm serious. It's just like, just as real as you.
You don't be talking to them, do you?
No, I don't. No. But just as real as you and I are talking right now, like, you know, it's kind of how it works. And, it's annoying to my family sometimes, you know, because sometimes I'll be writing and I write late at night when everybody is asleep and my office is like right off the side of the bedroom. So like, I'll think of something funny and I'll bust out laughing and my wife will be like, what are you doing? I'll be like, I just thought of something. Oh man. You know, like at the movie premiere, I told y'all, people who seen the movie know the stepdaddy dance. I came up with that.
The stepdaddy dance?
The stepdaddy dance.
At some point, you're going to have to show us.
I can't show you.
At some point.
But, I came up with it at like 2:45 a.m. and just busted out laughing. And she was like, what are you doing? And woke her up out of her sleep. I was like, you'll see.
Right?
You'll see. But I can't dance. That's why I said, no, you don't want to see me do it.
So having a good support system for you also helped you get over that hump.
Well, yes. But I can't depend on that though. Because, you know, everybody lives their own lives, including your spouse. You can't expect somebody who you're with to live their life.
Sure.
You know, vicariously through you. They have their own thoughts. They have their own dreams, you know, and especially being a man, we're the ones who more or less need to support our women as opposed to them supporting us. You know, she has things that she goes through on a daily basis. I have to be her rock. You know what I'm saying? And I have to remember to take myself out of the equation sometimes. Remember that what I'm doing It's something that I'm choosing to do for fun. I can still sustain my family and take care of my family without writing. You know, writing came into the picture much later. You know, I promised to be a protector, provider, and a priest over my family long ago, long before writing. You know what I mean? But
that's excellent.
But my advice to young writers, to answer your question, my advice to young writers is remember that writing is rewriting. That's exactly what it is. And you have to enjoy the process and keep it fun. And when I say manage time, that was the first thing I was saying. Manage time in the way of when I'm done with something, I let it rest for a while, go to something else, come back to it with fresh eyes. So then you're excited about it again. But when you're just pressing on the same thing over and over and over, like those 13 revisions, I didn't do them back to back. In between time, I wrote Mr. Wilder. In between time, I wrote another book, and, you know, and I came back to it, and it was like my in between. I did audiobooks in between. I did things to keep it fresh when I came back with fresh eyes. Right. Okay. You know.
So you never not stop thinking about it. You
just
did something else. So being a creative, because I'm also creative. I used to write poetry and did a few poetry like shows and things of that nature. Being a creative, who have you drawn inspiration from as far as role models, if you haven't had any?
I hate to sound so cliche, but John Singleton, Spike Lee, Ice Cube. Ice Cube was my favorite. Ice Cube was my favorite for sure, because Ice Cube switched it up from Spike Lee and John Singleton, where he showed America that people from the hood like to laugh too. Right. You know what I mean? And that's why I feel so connected, so drawn from him, because, you know, even though I feel like our styles of comedy are different and our styles of writing are different, however, he's somebody who I look, and not only that, but
he's a good man too.
Exactly. I was about to say.
He's a family
Yes,
man.
He's a family man. Yeah. And you know, but yeah, John Singleton, Spike Lee, and then, also like Quentin Tarantino. I love his dialogue, you know, and I know a lot of people don't like the fact he used the N-word, but his stuff is good. I don't know how else to tell you. Quentin Tarantino stuff is good. Yeah. You know.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Okay. So do you want to tell us?
I just wanted to ask, so did you have anyone besides your dad? Or anyone in your neighborhood or in your school that really tapped in or knew that you had this gift and then tapped into it and helped you mold it?
Yes. I'm not going to say her name because I think she still owes me money. But,
okay.
So look, I know. Yes, real life. That's right. So I'll tell you what happened. This is how I initially started writing. Like I said, I never took writing seriously until I was 27. Wow. However, I've been writing since middle school. And I was actually on the Wavy, whatever the local channel is here. Yeah, exactly. When I was a little kid, I wrote a book called The Original Prose, and my brother illustrated. Okay. And it ended up getting published here locally or whatever. Don't know what happened to it. Don't know what happened to the money from it. That's why I say I think this lady that's why I say I think she still owes me money. And you ask my mama, she definitely owes you money. I'm time to time. I remember the lady. So, but you know, it is all forgiven. Anyway, so we used to have to go and take this tutoring class. She was the tutor there. And one day I got done with my homework early. Everybody else was still done with their homework. My parents weren't ready to come pick us up yet. And she said, Shelton, why don't you go over in the corner and read your book if you're done with your homework? And I said, I don't really feel like reading a book, to be honest with you. She said, okay, well, if you don't feel like reading a book, why don't you write a book? Ooh. And I was like, So.
Message.
All right, exactly. So I did it. And she read it and said that was good. And I was like, really? You think so? And just her saying that made me go to my brother and say, because I can't draw. My brother can draw. I said, man, Steve, you should illustrate this, man. Let's try to make this thing, get it published or whatever. We didn't know nothing about publishing nothing. But we came back to her with it. She knew, she called the right people, got it handled, like I said, got us on the news and got it published. Yeah. Awesome. Yep. We were in middle school when it happened. Yeah.
First experience writing.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Creative writing.
Yeah.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
See, even though maybe, you know, she might owe you money, it's a memory that you don't ever forget.
That's the truth. Yes.
It's kind of what started the whole career.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you have a full-time job as well, or how do you support yourself? Because a lot of creative people.
Well, I walk around with a tin cup most of the time.
Oh, stop it.
I'm like, please, come on, y'all, please.
I'm begging for some change.
Please. I got a family at home. Somebody, please, help me, please.
Stop it.
Like John Witherspoon. Help me, please. Rest in peace.
Yes,
I love John Witherspoon. Yes, please rest in peace. Lord have mercy. Yeah. I loved him. No, I work for the government. I do stuff for them. It's pretty boring. Not really, nothing exciting.
But you have a way to support your creativity.
Yes, I do. I do. To be honest with you, these past 2 years, my creative side has been able to support itself. It's become self-sufficient. Okay. So like the money for the movie came from the book sales. So yes,
now that's good.
That was good. Yeah. Now I'll talk about walking around a tin cup, but honestly, what I do though is I go to a lot of these book festivals and book fairs, and I go sell my books there. And I take that money, save it, and put it towards making the movies and even getting more books printed out to sell. Okay. So, like right now, I'm sold out of Mr. Wilder. That's the #1 seller all the time. Yes, wow. that book is life changing. It's kind of, I wasn't gonna make the movie.
Okay.
For Mr. Wilder. My wife thought I shouldn't make it because she said it talks about Black Lives Matters and everything in that book. And she was like, Shelton, it's kind of past that time. Nobody really talks about Black Lives Matter anymore. And I was like, yeah, okay, maybe. But then I went and saw Queen and Slim. Mm-hmm. And when I saw Queen,
we're not past it yet.
No, we are not past it at all. So I said, okay, I need to turn this into a movie.
Absolutely.
Did you see? I don't mean to interrupt you. Did you see Tyrese's movie? What is it? Black and Blue?
Mm-hmm. No, I haven't. I've seen the previews for it.
Good.
That is really a good movie.
So talking about the Black Lives Matter movement and things like that. Black and Blue. Still the same. So
I would definitely.
I think that's awesome.
Is that still in theaters?
I don't know if
probably
it's still
not
in theaters. Probably not.
But it's worth it.
Really good.
You need to see
I'll find it. I'll find it for sure. I love movies, and I definitely will watch that.
Really, really good. So where are you gonna be? Do you have any upcoming book signings or places that you're going to be so that people can see you, find you?
I don't have any upcoming book signings coming up right now. Right now, I'm really focused on writing. And improving as a movie director for Mr. Wilder. Okay. I'll be attending the American Black Film Festival, ABFF, in South Beach, Miami this year. Okay. I cannot wait. I'm super excited. We were talking about Queen and Slim. We were talking about Black and Blue. Yeah. Both of them premiered, screened at ABFF last year. Wow. Yes. So that's like, you go to the film festivals to see the movies before they become the big movie, Yeah. And there's so much great networking there. I mean,
Tyler Perry,
the girl who, awkward black girl. I can't remember her name.
Oh, Issa Rae.
Anybody who's anybody in black film and television, they're usually there. Yes. And I'm excited to get out there and just network, put names with faces and whole nine. Because there's a lot of up and coming too who I want to, have the opportunity to get to know and possibly even work with.
And you will.
Yeah, that's actually what I wanted to ask you. Would you ever, or are you currently doing any writers workshops or giving back to the young children, like middle school?
Yes.
Where you learn to write? So
I'm supposed to be getting a call this week. I don't know the name of the school, and that's going to sound so bad. But I don't know the name of the school because it was just mentioned to me last week that I'm going to get a call this week about a high school down here that wants me to come and speak.
Okay.
So they want me to come speak to the kids at the high school about writing, about how to get involved with it, what to do with it. And absolutely, anytime I get an opportunity to do so, I take full advantage. I love talking to the youth. So if anybody's watching and they want me to come talk to the kids, I'd love to.
Look, I'm gonna plug.
Adults.
I'm gonna plug Girls with Goals right now. Lisa Church, she's the creator and owner and executive of Girls with Goals LLC. So I'm gonna talk, Lisa, if you're watching, I'm gonna plug you with her because she does a lot of work with the youth, and I actually went and talked to a group of high schoolers about leadership and things of that nature. So you would be amazing.
Oh, thank you. I would love to do it. Thank you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yes,
that'd be great.
Yep.
So do you want to?
No, I think the world is really ready for African Americans to be not only behind the scenes, but also on the film.
Right.
I think we're really hungry for more movies for us and by us.
Right.
I agree.
So watching what Tyler Perry did in Atlanta, does that just inspire you even more? Do you have that kind of vision?
Let me tell you something.
Okay.
Which camera I'm looking at? Let me tell y'all something. Look here. Okay.
What?
I love what Tyler Perry did in Atlanta. Let me say that first and foremost. Yes. I love what Tyler Perry did in Atlanta. But this is the crazy part. When I found out that he bought those 300 acres down in Atlanta, I can't even make this up. I was sitting in the kitchen eating a bowl of Cheerios, okay? And my wife came running downstairs. Shelton, you know what Tyler Perry did? I said, what'd he do? He bought 300 acres. He built in a studio and blah, 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 blah. Me and her were tripping out because last year I had drew up plans on how I was going to be in my own studio and do it right here in 757.
Wow.
And when I say I drawn it out, I'm talking about detailed, laid out, how the studio was going to be ran, the whole, where the crews, the offices, the buildings, the sound stages, everything. And so when I heard that he bought it, I was like, wow. Me and my wife were just like, wow, like this is crazy. But I love what he did. I love how he did it. Right. To be 100% honest with you, I really want to get down there and see it, learn. It's, you know, it's so that, you know, when I do mine,
right,
it'd be, you know,
either blueprint.
I have a blueprint and I know what worked, what doesn't work, what problem. I would love to just honestly sit down and just pick his brain one day at lunch. So Tyler Perry, if you listen, if you watch it, you know what I'm saying? I'll take you out to lunch, man.
You in the making. Right.
I would take you out to lunch, man. I really just want to pick your brain, man, and get to know a lot about the industry. I just want to learn. Right. I'm big on learning because I feel like the most I'm losing my words right now. The most valuable thing somebody can give you is advice. Right. You know, I mean, people think that it's money. Oh, you know, give me money. No, the money will go away, but that advice, it stays forever, and you can always use it to produce more money.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. Well, tell everybody before we go into the next segment of what we're going to talk about, tell everybody where to find your books. Okay.
You can find my books on Amazon.com. All you got to do is put in Shelton R. Johnson, SHELTON, the letter R dot space JOHNSON. Shelton R. Johnson on Amazon.com, and all 4 of them will pop up. This year I'll also be doing the audio book for the one with the baby on the cover. That's a crazy baby. I cannot wait to do the audio book for that when I do all my own audio books because I like to do the voices. Yeah, I cannot wait.
Let me know if you need a female voice.
I will.
I told her the same thing. I said, hire me, right?
So for the novel, I'm working on a novel this year. So I told you about managing time, right? So I'm writing Mr. Wilder. That script to be done by the end of March. Then I'll be switching gears, going over to writing this novel. I'm excited about this. This is my first children's novel that my kids can actually read. Because right now they can't read none of my stuff, you know. But they'll be able to finally, you know, read some of your work. Exactly. And for that one, when I do the audiobook, I will need a female for it. That's awesome. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And your Instagram and Facebook?
Instagram at thewritersj. On Instagram, on Facebook, just Shelton Johnson. But I prefer you hit me up on Instagram. That's more where I put my attention at. And there's a lot of family and friends who know me personally on Facebook. So just Instagram at thewritersj. On Facebook, you might not get a response.
At least he's being honest.
Yeah, exactly.
So we had a shout out to Tyler Perry. Hit your boy up.
Yes.
And he's going to take you to lunch.
That's right. Take you to lunch. My treat. You pick your price. You pick your place.
No. Anything else before we close out?
No, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here.
Yes, absolutely. I enjoyed it.
All right, guys.
All right.
Hey, y'all. If you're watching us on YouTube, please be sure to like, subscribe, and share our channel. And if you want to hear our perspective on any particular topic, just send us an email or leave us a comment below.